Good morning, everyone. We're coming to you live at 10:05 Eastern on this beautiful Thursday morning in New Jersey. This is the Ascend Business Show. We're coming at you with Bill Walton, my co-host, and James Jacoby, myself, to talk to you about everything you need to know with B2B, digital sales, and digital marketing. Today, we're going to talk about how to restart and refocus your connections and relationships and focus on the ones that need to do business with you. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this.
Power to pay.
All right. I love that. That's such a fun introduction. How you doing, Bill?
Doing great. I get so jazzed when I see it. I don't know if it's the music or the imagery or seeing your shining face make everyone positive and pumped. And
it's probably all of the above, if we're honest. So good to be back, guys. We've been hiatus for a little bit, just getting ready for a big end of the year. We've been focused in the weeds, helping build the business here on Ascend. And we're ready to come back to you now for a while. We have a lot of exciting news to share with you this morning of things that we've been working on here at Ascend, and all things that are going to, at the end, help you. So, Bill, where do you want to start?
Well, let's kind of take a look at where we are right on the calendar. We're approaching the fourth quarter, and certainly we've been in our pandemic for a while, and I think everyone watching us today I'm just a hats off. I think we've been a resilient bunch, and anyone in the sales and marketing and digital marketing profession, right? We're coming to the other side. The light at the end of the tunnel is bright, and I'm excited because I think there's a lot we can share today to get folks excited about closing the year strong. But also we're realists, right? To think about where they might have some opportunities stuck in the pipeline, some things that just either stalled or aren't moving, or all of a sudden, their prospects or clients have kind of fallen off the cliff and haven't responded to emails or texts or phone calls or anything on social media. So I think there's a lot we can offer. Let's just start with that as a theme, because that's kind of, as you and I still carry the bag, that's kind of where we are. So maybe that'd be a good place to start today.
Yeah, listen, we're no different than you watching this, right? We're all insanely busy all the time. I feel like it's more busier now than ever. And I feel like we always say that every year, but there's something about this just audacity of digital noise on our phones. We're checking our phones all the time. We're looking through news feeds and social media feeds. We got kids in the background. We got dogs barking everywhere. It's crazy, but that's life. So especially now, it's the remote business life for the most part, right? And then we do this, several times a day, virtual. So yeah, but we can't lose focus of the relationships. And that's one thing that I've seen, that still holds true even now, mid-COVID, post-COVID, wherever you want to call it, the era that we're in right now. We're definitely more digital than ever. We're more digitally connected than ever. But at the end of the day, it's still the relationship that holds a lot of ground. So, we're talking to you today about when's the last time you focused and rethought through your relationships, that need tending to. Maybe it's been a week. Maybe it's been a month. Maybe it's been a year. It's probably been a while, if we're honest with ourselves. So, we're going to talk to you about some practical things today to help you with your sales pipeline, your revenue, and systems to help grow your business right now. We're about to enter Q4, and I'm not going to steal too much of Bill's thunder, but Bill has a really cool added phrase that I'll let him share with you on what Q4 needs to be for you, for your business, and what we're going to start this show with, and we're going to talk about really for over the next 13 weeks as we finish out 2021. So, Bill, what's this big dash that we're alluding to here?
You know, it's funny. I'm going to call it the 90-day dash, but I think it's important for folks to kind of know where that comes from, right? On the intellectual, pragmatic, practical side, right? We operate in 90-day business cycles, particularly if you're working for a publicly traded company. And 90 days is long enough to be able to execute a strategy, but short enough to say, hey, listen, the results are tangible. I can kind of see that. I can kind of reach into October, November, December, and kind of almost project and kind of think about what that can be. So it's not too lofty. It's not too Pollyannish. So that's number one. Number two, I'll tell you where the term came from. Before I got involved in consulting, I was working for a .com incubator, and we were working with early stage companies that typically had 90 days left of cash flow. So the 90-day dash was truly the 90-day survival, right? It was all hands on deck, right? And if you're not selling, you're helping someone who is. It's the total insane focus on the value proposition, on clients, on prospects. Who have we touched? Who haven't we touched? Let's kind of come back to our pillars of value. And then it was also about guardrails, guidelines, and operating principles and thoughts that would keep you focused. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to use the term a giving hand is always full. And I've never seen that be pulled forward more than selling in the digital era. So if I can match up the 90-day dash, which is kind of our theme, how we're going to support you today, another kind of sub theme to help you be successful in it and re-engage with prospects and clients on the relationship side is that giving hand is always full. And I think about social and digital selling, right? I always want to have something, either a quip, an issue, an item, something that I'm thinking about that I want to offer that would be relevant to a client or a prospect, right? That's kind of my giving hand is, hey, been thinking about you, but more just thinking about you. I came across something, I saw something, I read something, I've come up with an idea or a hypothesis that I just got to share with you and have that be relevant.
Yeah.
Now that's easy, right, to think about, right? If you're with me, somewhat intuitive for folks that you know and relationships that you have, and you can maybe text someone or send a quick call, make a quick call because they'll see your name and they will answer it, or tap into social media or send an email. That's the easy part. But for folks that don't know you, right, how do you do this, right? How do you know what to offer? How do you do this giving hand is always full if I don't really know this prospect? And one of the things we've been trying to talk about as kind of value creation comes back, like the hens are coming back to roost, right? If you're going to sell on social media, you've got to have insights. You have to be what you have to be issue fluent.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to know what you need to be fluent in and what issues to be fluent in. So if you had to think about some guidelines in addition to the giving hand is always full, it's, value is industry, title, and role specific. So depending on who you sell to, whether it be heads of sustainability or CFOs or purchasing managers or heads of sales and marketing, their role in their world is defined and different by the industry that they sell in. Right. So part of that is Googling the job description is a great tool to really figure out what these folks care about, what they're responsible for, so that you can think about what to offer. If that giving hand is always full is continuing to resonate with you. If you're going to do this 90-day dash thing, is what's happening in that particular marketplace. So I've got some more to share on that, James, but let me kind of pause and tap back into you on the 90-day dash concept and this giving hand, because I know that's driven your whole career just as a business person and who you are.
Well, yeah, I mean, going back to the visual aid that if you just saw, if you have less than 90 days to create cash, your lights might go out and they may not turn back on. But no, it's so true. One thing that you guys are going to hear today, one of our announcements that we'll leak here in just a second is that this is about really sharing your point of view. Right? Like everyone can read something about a topic, but where the ear is leaning in a little bit is people that are speaking up and standing out and giving their point of view on what are they seeing happen in the market right now for your business that relates to you, and what do they recommend that you do about it. That's the kind of information that you want to share with your marketplace, because they're looking for that. And there's not a lot of people, if you look around, there's not a lot of people that are doing that still, which is incredible. So as much as we have become digital today, there's still this void of thought leaders that have this blue ocean, really, opportunity to come into your space, go into your marketplace, and just say, I know this industry segment better than anybody, or as good as anybody. And if anything, whether you believe that or not, I've been in the weeds all this year, head to the ground, nose to the ground, working my tail off. Here's the things that we've been implementing. Here's the things that we've been testing. Here's the things that we've been trying. And I may not even have all the best practices of what to do. I might even be able to just tell you, don't do this because it doesn't work. And even that would be helpful, So with that being said, we have a new podcast that we want to tell you about. And that's what that's what the first episode is about. It's about the state of digital business today, and really how you have this amazing opportunity to share your point of view and have that be the foundational focus of your content and what you talk about online. If you want to learn more about that, there's the link. We're on Google now, Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify. That's our home. Spotify's our home. Check us out on Spotify. But we're on a bunch of different places. We're getting Facebook actually has a cool new feature that you can connect your podcast to. So we'll be up on Facebook podcast soon, and then soon Apple. But it's the Ascend Business Podcast. You can look it up, and Bill and I are going to come to you every week as long as we can talk, and share insights with you and tips to help you. So
I want to point out something that you said around having a point of view, James, and I want to be mindful of the fact that, to put yourself out there, to have a point of view, takes a lot of courage. I joke, I use the Billism, right? Hey, you got to go down sometimes to Walgreens and CVS and buy that big, thick padded neck brace, right? And be bold, right? For, gosh, someone might engage with you. Someone might agree with you, or they might disagree with you. And in this era of digital selling and marketing and engaging, the answer is yes. You want that. Engagement is prime. You want people engaging with you, disagreeing with you, or have another point of view or build upon that, right? This giving hand is always full kind of mantra should really help you as a salesperson kind of build a community. You're really serving the community that you're interested in, community of sellers, as well as community of the stakeholders, the direct stakeholders, that title and role we talked about in terms of what they care about. Because we might all be on our phones and have access to the internet, and information abounds. So that's exciting. On the other hand, that can be anxiety provoking for your clients and prospects that need to make a decision, right? They need to have comfort in their decisions, what they're doing, forging a strategy, working on their 90-day dash. Some of the best salespeople I know are really true thinking partners that not only have a point of view, but hey, they're going to be bold enough to say, if I may, I'd like to be politely provocative here and say, this is a direction I think you ought to really consider, and be able to back that up. So, as part of this kind of 90-day dash, I say, be strong in your convictions. It's going to take a little work to prepare, and you're going to have to gain and garner and kind of sift and sort through multiple perspectives, multiple white papers and blogs and things of that nature. But that's all worth it, because that adds to your own credibility. And Absolutely. That's kind of what we want to do with our podcast series is, yes, help with your selling acumen. But I think James and I really want you to be seen as more credible. And I think that's a requirement in this era, not just over the 90-day dash, but I think, for the foreseeable future in sales and selling, I don't see that retracting. I don't see that ocean receding. I think that's going to continue.
Absolutely. And it's really that simple. It's standing out by just making a stance on a view, telling people what you think. Not everybody's going to agree with you. there's there and for what we talk about, sales and marketing, yes, there's some foundational strategies that are applicable to essentially nearly every business that there is, but there's no silver bullet with how to go about your sales or marketing. There never will be. And if anyone tells you that, that's not true. We've tried so many different ways to grow business, and we'll continue to try different ways to grow business and test new things. That should never go away. Because why? Because we believe, one of the big things that we believe here at Ascend is that it's okay to fail forward as long as you're learning and being willing to learn, which means you have to have the courage to try, courage to try, willing to learn and learn new skills. And if you keep doing that every day, you're going to get better. And if you become 1% better every day, that adage, you get better. It doesn't have to be these huge strides. And in fact, if we look back at this whole year, even look at all the wins you've had. If you were to index all your big wins right now on a piece of paper, how many are there? What's the gap time between those wins? They didn't probably happen every single day. They probably happen once every few weeks or once a month or maybe every few months. They're sparsed out. So if you have your foot on the gas and it's 1% improvement every day, there's going to be a breakthrough moment, right? And so that's what we're talking about here, is just refocusing on some simple concepts that will help you stay going in the right direction, and then making sure you're not missing relationships where you can give insights to. I mean, if you're anything like what we've been through here at Ascend this year, I feel like we've progressed probably 5 years worth of brand and service enhancements and market outcomes with our clients in 9 months, because we've just been so down in it and focused that we're executing at a high level. So even people that we talked to back in January, we're totally different today. We're totally different today. And we have a lot to share with those people. I'm sure you do too. So don't dismiss folks that may think who understand who you are and what you do. You may have totally new approaches, new insights, new things that you've learned that you can go back and share to folks you talked to a quarter ago, 2 quarters ago, even last year at this time.
So I have an idea. Why don't we segue to how, right? We've talked a lot about.
Yeah, let's do that.
And you've heard a lot of, kind of our nomenclature, the 90-day dash and giving hand is always full. Let's go to some of the hows. One of the things that, James, I love that you picked up on this phrase that I use all the time, this issue fluency, right? You have to be issue fluent, the issues that matter most to your stakeholders. And, maybe I can start there, James, with how do you get issue fluent and how do you do that? So I want to share with the group, our listeners, a very simple acronym called MAIN, like Main of Main Street, MAIN. It's a tool that I use. I originally developed it to help people prepare for sales calls in 20 minutes or less, because everyone was either not preparing at all and winging it, or I'm over in the library for 3 hours. I can't seem to get myself away from the stacks and get ready for this call. So let's talk about this acronym, right, in terms of becoming issue fluent. So the M of MAIN is market, right? Analyzing the market that your client or prospect operates in, right? Whether they're an insurance brokerage, specialty chemicals manufacturer, a digital sales and marketing firm, right? Professional services firm, right? They are all trying to align with the clients.
My light keeps going out.
But you look good, James. You look good today. So the M is about the market, analyzing the market, its trends, and thinking about other kind of tools and newsletters you can use to help you understand what those trends are and what the thought leaders and the mover and the shakers are saying and doing. Certainly the leaders in those industries. So that's the first one, is the market. Understand the trends and the key happenings and shifts happening in the market. The A of MAIN is the account itself, the business, right? You put 3 people in a room, you have culture and you have politics, right? So you need to understand what's happening in that account, their commitment to talent. What are they doing in the broader business community? Are they growing? Are they publicly traded? Are they going private? Have they taken private equity investment? Where are they as an organization in terms of where they want to go? What are they saying about themselves in social media? And certainly in their annual report, if they're a publicly traded company. And then going to some of the people. If you go to a service like LinkedIn, just go to the organization you're selling to and look at some of the people that they've attracted and who they are and what they care about and what they talk about. Find your peers there, and that will tell you a lot to learn about that account. So that's the A of main. The I of main is the individual. I always found that if you could understand the personal motivations of your stakeholder or your buyer and what's changing in his or her environment, you can get pretty close to kind of anticipating what's important for them, right? And I think the other tool that we shared already is Googling the job description, really understanding the nature of that work, not what keeps them up at night, right? If you're selling to anyone who knows what they're doing, they sleep like a baby. That's not what this is about. This is about aspirations not yet met. This is about delightful pebbles in their shoe, right? Consternation, right? Problems are a sign of progress. I'll steal from Anthony Robbins, right? It's not about black cloud, the sky is falling. It's where they've yet to go, right? Perfection is really tough to come by. There's always a gap. The door is always somewhat kind of cracked open. So you want to focus on that with those individuals. And the N of main is networks. Now, this is a saloon door that swings two ways. You want to analyze and understand the networks that your clients subscribe to and your prospects, where they go to get the straight dope, where they go. Hopefully they're coming to our podcasts and our live sessions, right, to get these insights or others, but where do they go? And then you want to understand where you go. What are the trends? Any events? What's on the agenda? Who's speaking? Any industry-related events, associations? What's on their agenda? What's the thinking? What's the theme? What's the stream of thought? So if you put the M and the A and the I and the N together, those insights, you've got a really good, what I call a hypothesis for how you might want to engage a particular prospect. It should throw off really good conversation starters. And sometimes a conversation starter doesn't have to be a declaration. It could be a question. I'm confused by something. I've been wondering about something. I have a point of view about something. I've got a problem. I haven't yet solved it, but I got three ideas at my door, and I'm trying to figure out which one. I'd love to get your advice and counsel on that. It's amazing what clients and prospects do when you ask them for their coaching, when you ask them for their advice. It's a different conversation. And that's kind of why Ascend got together, because we wanted to create different conversations. So that's a little bit of how-to, James. Why don't you kind of build upon that as we kind of take folks into this 90-day dash we've been talking about.
I love that, Bill. I hope you guys really grab that, because that's such a great 4-minute tutorial of how to build a conversation out of, like that. And like you said, in 20 minutes, if you really focus on your market like that, you could easily create 3 to 5 bullet points of talking points or questions you could go in with that are right on the money, with your audience. So that was awesome. So imagine that you have that, right? Now, when we talk about what we said before with the relationships that you have, let's see, realign your relationships and your focus. And there's going to be people that you've built relationships with that don't fit what you do even right now. And they may have changed what they do, right now. But as you refocus and realign, there are going to be existing relationships and conversations that you have started yesterday, a week ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, that you can recircle and use this strategy and have that conversation. And we don't know if it's going to lead to a sale, right? We don't know that for sure, but it's going to lead to a really high quality conversation that they'll appreciate, that will, if anything, put those little emotional deposits or nuggets that they respect, they appreciate, those seeds that will nurture, a future business relationship. We signed a deal yesterday that, we've been working on with someone for over a year. It just wasn't the right time, right place. And now it is, but you got to follow up and nurture. So we want to give you guys a free resource today that I think you'll love. We've shared this. We use this internally. We use this with clients. We give this out. You can get this on our website too. It's free. But if you want it right now, sent to your email, like right now, just text this number 973-310-2803, Ascend, and it'll get you what you need. This is a 1-hour exercise, and it'll take you through 21 different ways where you can look under these different rocks of relationships and conversations you have started. And I'm telling you, it happens every single time. I was doing this again yesterday even. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about like all these people over here. I've been so focused on going this way they've been there the whole time. And I guarantee you we can pick things right back up and talk about some things that they would want to talk about that would matter for their business. You're going to have that happen when you do this. So I challenge you, and tell us what happens from this when you do it. But download this, get this today, and do it. Do it within the next week. Like, you will find new conversations you have not been thinking about that are right there ready for you to go. And you might just end up with a few new clients before end of the month. So give it a try and let us know.
Hey, James, thank you so much for letting folks know about our offer. I've learned a lot from you, and I've used this tool. We've used this tool. We eat our own cooking. I just want to make a point before about this issue, Fluency. This also applies to your referral network. Many industries, some call them centers of influence, referral sources, whether it be CPAs, other professional services firms, real estate brokers, whoever's in your ecosystem that refers you business. They need to experience your issue Fluency also. And that's some of the greatest gifts that you can bring, is anything that we're sharing with you today, you should bring to your network. Anyone in their network, if you want to add value, we're all looking for more business. We're all looking for deeper relationships. So in most of the folks that are in the professional services spaces or your referral sources, right, they're looking for new business too. So this is wisdom you can not only take and use for yourself, but there's no better feeling than to impart that wisdom on someone else, particularly someone that's helped you and supported you over the years. So I just wanted to make, as you're thinking about your 90-day dash, right, it's certainly about your prospects and existing clients, but also your network, who's been good to you, who's understood the giving hand is full mantra. So here's another way to give back. So don't leave those folks out.
Absolutely. Like, I love that you just said that. It's really, if you when you do this, you refocus and you see all these people that fit your business profile, and you can help those folks, and vice versa, and you haven't given them value in a while, man, what a great time, what a great opportunity today to realize that, and just to go do it. Just go give it some value today, unsolicited, just nothing in return. Just give them free value, and just plant that seed. That's one way we call nurturing, right? Give them some free value that they would appreciate, that they would care about. And that will help you restart the conversation. And it may not happen right away, right? It may be something that will lead to the right time in a month from now, later this year still, or even early Q1. But now is the time to make sure that if there's anyone in your frontal focus, once you're refocused, to ensure that no one has missed hearing from you on where you've been, what you're seeing, asking them how they are, and what they're thinking about, as they end this year. So.
Yeah, and I think if we come back to the 90-day dash, our audience might be wondering, okay, well, if I do that, well, how should I do that? What platform and how often? So part of the 90-day dash is something we call the 7-touch strategy, right? So anywhere between 6 to 7 touches over 90 days to build back the relationship, create some affinity, build a story, build what I call a stream of consciousness with either your referral ecosystem, your clients, your prospects, to build that relationship. So on average, every 11 to 12 days, you should be touching this kind of short list of folks that you want to rekindle and reconnect with something meaningful. And I use the two letters V and V, varied and valuable, right? It doesn't always have to be a PDF of a white paper. It could be a link to something special. It could be a picture. It could be an image that you found on Instagram that you thought was really motivational or had some meaning. But it could be a phone call. It could be an invitation to an event that you found that you thought was really powerful. So, use that, right? That variability of value, that 6 to 7 touches over 90 days, particularly for opportunities that maybe stalled a little bit, that you need to unstick and give people the comfort to go forward, because there's always a reason, right? There's always a reason why something's moving forward, why something is paused, or something is not going in the right direction. So this can be a great way to, use that value-driven, insight-laden infusion of touching and its stream of consciousness to kind of bring folks back to the conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope you have gotten a lot of value out of this show, for watching us today on the Ascend Business Show. got the podcast that we just announced that to come check out. We'll get those. We kick those episodes out every Monday. They're live. They're fresh. There's a free lead acceleration kit that'll help you refocus and start some conversations right away that will benefit you and them. We'll talk about some more big things that happen this week soon. We'll just allude to it real quickly, but if you like content, if you love different sales and marketing content and perspectives and tactics and strategies, then you want to check out HighSpot. HighSpot is like the Salesforce CRM of the world, the Salesforce big company. HighSpot's like that for what we call sales enablement, and it's an amazing tech company that's brought together 20 of the best thought leaders in the world on how to do sales and marketing in today's business. So check out their website, check out their marketplace. Ascend is a part of that. You'll see some other companies that you're probably familiar with that maybe you've done some training with before or used their products before, but there's incredible content on there. And, we're just so excited to be a part of the HighSpot family. So with that being said, if you have any questions, guys, this is social media. If you watch this on live or replay, drop some comments. We'll check them. We'll get back to you. Let us know what you thought of today's show. And as always, becoming unstoppable. Start your ascend today and make today and every day moving forward the best it's ever been. So thanks for joining in. Thanks, Bill, for being on the show today.
Got it. Good selling, everybody.